Sure.
I just want to kind of start off with, thanking everyone for your patience with Oracle, your patience with Eileen, myself, with getting answers back to you. I try to get back to you as soon as possible with anything, and we'll continue to do so. I know it's been extremely challenging for all involved, but if you were on the meeting today with Eileen, she did say that I guess it was MedStar or another hospital system that also rolled out Oracle. And, she said that probably takes about a year for everyone to kind of grasp a new system, specifically now with physician management. So, we're 3 months in, and, we're still kind of in the beginning. So hopefully, maybe we'll be a little more versed in everything, and so will our managers maybe before the year mark. So fingers crossed, everyone. I just want to get kind of, if you could just lift up your hand, let me know if you are on the 9 o'clock call with Eileen today. I don't want to go over the same thing if everyone was on. So we have, okay, sorry, keep your hand up really quick, everyone. And then I'm pretty sure, okay, so Brian, Cherie, Albert, were you on?
I was, yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I do have a couple people that weren't on. So I guess I'll go through some of the things that she discussed with us this morning. Just kind of for future, I know obviously if we already have conflicts on our calendars and we're not able to join, that's absolutely fine. But please, if she sends out any more meetings that are kind of for the whole TA team, if you can please try to attend, so we're not going over the same thing twice or 3 times. So first, I kind of want to, make sure that everyone understands the most important part, I think, right now is that when we get a requisition assigned to us, that our process first before even, opening up the requisition is to go to the workforce structures and look up the position number to make sure that it is a mirror image of the rec. If you don't see the position number at all, that means that was completely done wrong. And your guidance to your hiring leader is that you will need to cancel the requisition because they did not attach it to a position and they have to start over. Very important step for everyone to do that, because then if you don't do that, there are lots of downstream issues that occur once you have identified a candidate, and just for a better experience and working relationship with your managers, kind of having that at the beginning is best practice. Does everyone feel like they understand that part, how to do the part? Does anyone need me to run through it again?
Barbara, I have a question. It's about, I don't know if you want to cover it here or if you want to do it another time, but I received 2 PRN positions for outpatient, and I was doing that on workforce structures. So the grade for one of them is R72, and for the other one is M24. They are like the same thing, like PRN positions for outpatient. So I'm a little confused because I'm checking also the hiring guides, and on the PRN tab, they said R72, and there is like a $10 difference in the pay rate. So I don't know which one is correct and which one is incorrect. And I have my intake session today with the manager, so I don't know if we can go over that now, or if you prefer to talk about that later. I don't want to take time of the meeting if this is not,
No worries, Mario. It's a good question. That is something very important to make sure you are checking the pay grade, and that is correct. And if you're getting multiple positions and they have different pay grades, obviously one of them is wrong. I actually never had an RN outpatient PRN position. Has anyone had one? Would it be an R72, or are they a separate?
So Mariela, let's connect afterwards. Yeah, let's go ahead and connect afterwards and we can discuss. But so the pay grade is also a field that managers are able to somehow either choose or type. So some requisitions, in addition to making sure that there's not an incumbent, in addition to make sure that the FTE is correct, that if it's full-time, it shows full-time, or part-time is part-time, we also need to be looking at the pay grade. So I had 2 instances where 2 positions came through. One came through with the correct pay grade, the other one did not. So what the hiring leader in this case needs to do is needs to go back into that position and then change the pay grade. And when that takes place, then you should be able to go back and look and see if that pay grade has changed, and then you can move forward. But until that pay grade, or whether it's the incumbent and all of that has been changed, then you wouldn't be able to move forward. So, but yes, Mariela, let's connect about your PRNs outpatients after the meeting, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. So any other questions about how to use the workforce structures, the specific fields you need to be checking? Anything on that at all? Okay. I guess kind of in that same mindset, as far as how to know if a position is exempt or not, there is no specific saying in the workforce structures where it says exempt or not exempt. That is all triggered by the pay code. So for us, mainly I would say we have non-exempt. So it is always starting with an R, RO2, RO3, RO4 for our, inpatient nursing. For ones that are exempt, they usually start with an E, or for manager and leader positions, they start with an M. So that is kind of, I think mainly the ones that we would get. So that's how you know what is exempt and what is not. Questions about that? All right. And I know it was a little bit, might have been a little bit confusing with what Eileen was talking about, doing the salary and everything. That is not for any R pay grade positions. They are all non-exempt, so you do not need to worry about doing any calculations for that. It is just the hourly rate. But if you do have any positions that are the E or an M, so those are the exempt positions, that is the calculation that you can use to get the annual rate.
And then to piggyback on that, Barbara, I know that the formula that Eileen was showing in order to come up with the annual salary, it's something new for us. But if for nursing, we are not, in order to come up with an annual salary, we're now multiplying the hourly rate by 2030, but we're multiplying it by 1872. That's the 36 hours times 52. So if you do that calculation and you do the one that Eileen showed us this morning, you're coming up with the same result. So just no worries about that. It does yield the same annual salary. Okay.
Thanks, Christina. A couple things that I noticed as of last week. I did go to the career site, and I was noticing that under the job title, it does not look like there is that short blurb where we put into the short description. It is all listing just the full job description. I did ask Eileen about that. She said that once we are officially off of Brass Ring, the career site will be totally Oracle. It will go back to the way we had it before. So under the position, it would have the short description, and then you could click into the position, it would have the full description. So I know that our team was utilizing the short description just as a quick view for the candidate, where we're putting in the shift and the FTE and things. As of right now, until we completely leave Brass Ring, please make sure that you are putting the schedule also into your long description if you weren't doing that already. Because if you're only putting in the short description shortly, it is not really showing up anywhere under the description for the candidate to see. Questions about that? Okay. Let's see, going down the list here. All right. Start date changes for when we leave Brass Ring, which, we probably will get a good amount of, especially for our new graduates that are due to start in July. Obviously those were processed even maybe months ago. I have already been receiving lots of my new graduates, as I'm sure the rest of the team is as well. Lack of a better term, freaking out that maybe they haven't scheduled their boards or haven't got their ATT. What happens? How do we change the start date? So I did bring this up to Eileen because when we leave Brass Ring as of the 30th of this month, we are not going to be able to do those start date changes in Brass Ring as we previously would. However, she did say that before we officially leave Brass Ring, all of those candidates with future start dates will be put into Oracle. That is how they're being done currently as well. So we would just follow the same process for start date changes in Oracle. So, they will all be kind of in Oracle. You would have to, send that email to Sabla and Celine, letting them know that you have a start date change. And the only other thing I'm actually needing to ask Eileen is about how to create a new offer letter. We're probably not going to be able to do it in Brass Ring anymore. So just for me to get a little more clarification of how we then create a new offer letter in Oracle. Because what I was finding is that I do need to do a start date change for someone that is in Oracle, but I can't recreate the offer letter. So I'm going to email Eileen about this today. So I will follow up on that, on how we're actually going to create a new offer letter. Questions about that? All right.
Sorry, sorry. Will they have rec numbers in Oracle, or they're just going to be input as new hires in Oracle?
Good question, Kit. I do not know. I did not ask for that part. Yeah, we would, I guess, need to know the rec, if it isn't a rec, how we would do that. So I'm going to get more clarification from her. All right. Another one is bonuses. So not critical care bonus. I mean, for the critical care bonus, we have the process of putting it into Oracle and then sending an email to Ashley and now Taylor in Ashley's absence, and they drop the agreement, and that is processed. If you have a bonus that is not critical care, so some of our managers might want to offer just a little sign-on bonus to get the candidate, we are just following the process of putting in that information into Oracle. And Eileen has assured me that the onboarding HR team does look at those. They do have a better, clearer process of doing those payouts. So that is the only step for any other bonuses that you might need. Right? All right, the computer's freaking out. Goodness. Sorry guys, I have a list, but my computer screen just froze. Okay, here we go.
Well, Laura, while you're on the bonuses, is there a letter or language for a different kind of bonus other than critical care? Like they have to pay it back within a year.
Good question, Kit. We did not create a specific template for that. I don't remember in Brass Ring, I haven't had one of these bonuses in a long time. Was there specific language in our Brass Ring job offers?
Yeah, and I think, Dawn, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it said if you leave within a year after the last payment, you would be required to pay, or if you leave before the last payment is made, you'd be, it was something like that. There was language that would automatically pop up.
Yes, if I'm remembering correctly, I think it's I believe before, as you mentioned.
So we'll work with finding out the exact language for that and send it on to the team. And I guess as of right now, just like updating offer letters, you do just want to put copy that into the offer letter. All right, I'm back here. So filtering for PRN positions on the career site. This will be an option on the career site once we leave Brass Ring as well. So candidates will be able to filter just by the PRN positions that we have available. And I think I went over last time the start date change process as well as the resend process. But like I said, I will get a little more clarification, especially for the start date change process about how we actually create a new updated offer letter. And whether, that is something we can do, or if we first have to have Celine or Sabla open up the rec and then we do it and attach it. I will get clarity on that and send out the update for that. And then for a couple other things, if candidates are reaching out to you, external candidates that are having application problems, if they're getting errors and everything like that, it basically is a ticket that a service desk ticket that needs to be put in with IT. I will be honest, Eileen quickly showed us how to do that. I do not remember all of the steps. So as of right now, she said we could just send that candidate straight to her and she will put in a service desk ticket on her own behalf and look into that. So just to not confuse anyone anymore with a whole nother process, just send the candidate to Eileen, and she will help them with being able to apply. All right.
Question about that, because if it's an external candidate, how are they reaching out to a recruiter? Like, how do they know to say to you, I can't apply to this role?
So the one incident I had is someone that friended me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And, you know, I gave him my email address to send his resume, and then he had my email address. And then I guess when he did try to go to apply to the position, he was not able to.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Is there
other ways, if you have internal team members that maybe referred someone for their unit, and then they gave that person our contact information, and that's kind of, you know, another way that they would reach out.
I'm just wondering if, like, an external does have an issue, they don't know who to contact. Is there some sort of error message that prompts them to call a certain number or anybody for technical help? I mean, I know my applications are way down. So I'm wondering if that could be an issue. I think I've had 2 applications in Oracle in the last 8 days. So, and I've checked and they're open. So I'm just wondering if other people are experiencing issues and we just don't know.
I mean, yeah, Lisa, I mean, we wouldn't know because they would not, I don't know how they would be able to contact us. I asked Eileen to notify all of East Services that the step would be that they need to contact Eileen for help. Hopefully she shared that with them. I do not know as far as if anything on the career site, if anyone's seen anything that has any kind of direction about if they are having trouble, who to contact.
I think that would be very well worth looking into because we just don't know what we don't know.
It's true. That's a great point, Lisa. Thanks for bringing that up, because that was going to be my question. That generally on these sites, companies typically have a number for applicants to contact should they encounter these issues, and I think that we definitely need to have that on there. Because like Lisa, the applications that I used to receive, that has decreased tremendously. And it could very likely be based on the fact that they're having difficulties, but no one to contact for assistance. So I think we really need to have a general number posted on the website that if they need help, they can contact that number.
Yeah, I agree. Lisa, do you mind taking lead on that and reaching out to Eileen and finding out if it's already on the website, or if it's not, having that put onto the website, and just checking to see if she's notified the e-services team of if people call them, what they need to do.
I would love to. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Other items here. All right. I just want to show everyone again just the new dashboard that we have. So let me share my screen here. Okay. So when you're on your full list here of requisitions, well, these are not posted. Let me go to one that's posted. You would click on your requisition title, which now has this extra bar here with the candidates. So instead of going into the candidates section and seeing who you've already touched, who's interviewing and everything like that, this is a quicker way to get a snapshot so you can see. So I currently have new that I have not reviewed 5. I have 5 other active candidates. I think, this is helpful. I think one of the main things of how it could be helpful is that when you do hire someone into the requisition, it will have the one here. You can click there and it will actually bring you to the person that you hired. So I know that is a faster way to now see who you've hired in a specific rec rather than taking off all the little filters and everything before. Of course, you still will need to, when you're in this page, of course, since you already hired someone, you then filled the requisition, if you have the number, you can put it here, but to make sure that you, under the filter here, have checked the include inactive requisitions. Okay. Questions about that? All right. Oh, and same thing. I don't think I might not have one to show you. But let me just, I don't know, put on anything. Also here, if those unconfirmed applicants, that section is there as well. So if you go into your requisitions, if you have something that's unconfirmed, as of right now, we'll have the number. You will be able to just click on the number there. It will bring you to the two candidates or one candidate, however many name. You can click there and you can confirm on their behalf. This is just as of right now. This soon they are going to be making this confirmed applications automatic for candidates that apply. So we will not kind of have that issue moving forward. I believe that it actually already went live with them being able to confirm automatically with this new update that we just ran on Saturday. Okay. I believe that might be kind of all of the updates I had. Eileen did go over those hiring action items today. So how to distinguish whether it's a promotion, a transfer, those as well. She did also send out an email with that as well. So please take a look at that. Very important that you're coding it to the correct hiring action, because what we have found out is for people that are experiencing, especially for transfers and promotions for our internal candidates, that you are getting managers being like, they're still not with me, they're still not in my cost center. Some of the problems with why HR was not processing those was because we were choosing the wrong action item. And Eileen has compiled a list of those. She is going to be sharing that with the respective recruiter, as well as step-by-step directions of how to fix the problem, how to recode it. And she has told me that it will be retroactive to the date. That is something HR is going to handle. So if you had already processed a transfer, it still is not processed in Oracle, she will let you know how to fix it, but it will be retroactive from the original effective date. So the candidate that, payroll was already ran and they did not see that pay raise or whatever reflected on their previous paycheck, they will get a retroactive payout from the effective date of their promotion or demotion. Well, hopefully not demotion.
Vivara, it's so funny. I just literally got an email with this problem. So, what did you say again? Do I need to send this to somebody?
No, Eileen is doing a list. She's running a report for all those, processes that were not followed correctly, and she will be sending those out to the recruiters to fix.
Fantastic.
I believe she is going to try to get that out by the end of today.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Questions about any of that?
Mara, this isn't necessarily a question about that. I want to know, it seems like weekly we've been getting the Oracle open positions report, usually on Mondays, I think. I didn't see it this week. Do you know if that's something that we can continue to receive? Because it's helpful in determining like what they're putting out for FTE without having to go through everything. Like I determined that a couple of my float pool positions are now part-time, which she's never had before. So it's sort of a good checks and balance for me to be able to check my recs versus that, not have to go to workforce management for each rec that's coming through.
Good question, Lisa. I don't even know who that came from. Does anyone?
I think Eileen sent it, but it came from Elizabeth, somebody.
Yeah, I thought it was coming weekly, but I didn't think it was on Mondays, Lisa. I mean, Eileen will be sending it, and I think she'll continue. I mean, I haven't heard she's not going to continue to send that.
Okay. For some reason I thought it was coming on Tuesdays, but maybe it's later in the week.
Well, it is several days behind though. Just always, remember that, it's not literally up to the minute by the time we get it.
Okay. Well, that is kind of all of the updates I had. So I know we still have a good 15 minutes, so I can open it up just to any other Oracle questions. No question is stupid. Please ask.
So back to the offer letter and checking the box of
Sorry, Laura, I can hardly hear you. Your volume is very low.
oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
You kind of sound like you're in a tunnel.
Okay, that's okay. I'll call later.
Okay. Well, Kit, Don, do you have any? I think Christina's off already. If you have anything else.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, give you back some time. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Take deep breaths when you're encountering Oracle problems.